Alright, I think at this point we should probably still stuck with the forms of, at this point, by the forms of using that, normal standard dice block for now. Yeah, because I get a strong feeling about the fact that it might give ourselves a pretty bad luck, situations in mind. But even then though, that we have to cope with that stuff. So even then though, and we got ourselves a custom dice block. So, yeah, kudos to that. So even then though, I think we should probably use that on the next turn whenever we get ourselves our, next star. Or technically speaking, that it will be our first proper star. Oh, wait a minute. It all depends though, really, because I believe that Diddy Kong might actually approach to it just because, I'm guessing this correctly, it might, he might actually use the golden mushroom with no doubt about that. So, well, let's just see. We'll see what happens there. Even then though, we'll, find things out when he, decides to have his go. So, anyway though, so it looks like Rosalina's got 8. Yep, I think she's definitely gonna make it. Yep, would have thought so, because even then, she's got a higher roll. Yeah, in addition with using her, you know, the dash mushroom, so. And speaking of such, I think she's gonna go for the golden dash mushroom for that as well, so. She might actually get ourselves a good advantage from that. Well, again, because it all depends on if the luck factor is present here with, you know, the dice roll system. So, anyway, so there goes the next star for Rosalina. So, yeah, naturally she's now in first place at this point now. So, but that's okay, because whenever we're able to actually, you know, trying to meet up with Lakitu again, we would able to actually steal a star from a different player, rather than just mainly Rosalina, just because of how the fact that she might steal it back. So, it depends on how the fact that with, you know, the minigame victories now and then. So it looks like the next star is going to be right there, even though despite the fact that we've accidentally managed to miss that, even though because we actually did go a little bit further away from it, well, we could appreciate if we can able to actually use the Bowser Jr. dice block instead. Even though we could able to actually roll lesser numbers than everything else, yeah, we'll seem to say so. So, looks like Diddy Kong got 2 coin bonus, so, but even then though, that he did actually got himself 3 additional coins as well, so that makes it up to, you know, 5 coins so far for him. Alright, next minigame we have Trip Investigator, or Trip Navigator. This one's pretty fun though. Find your way to the goal in the center. If you couldn't find the path, charge through even if you fall down. This minigame is so similar to the forms of that DK minigame from Mario Party 5 by the forms of Mass Appeal. But unlike in Mass Appeal from Mario Party 5, that rather than collecting bananas in order to actually gather some more coins, instead we need to reach at the forms of the actual finishing line on the center of the actual minigame itself. And at the same time, we still need to dodge those banana peels. But here's the thing though, that there's no invincibility frames, I realized, because even then, now, unlike in most minigames that it does utilize the invincibility frames, they're able to actually bypass it completely. I think the only reason why they added in doesn't have the invincibility frames on this minigame in particular, because it makes it incredibly broken if you're able to add in invincibility frames. So, but even then, once you figure that out for that, you know, the actual path, it doesn't really matter if you get certain mistakes, unless if you're able to actually accept the challenge for higher difficulty computer players, specifically on master mode. But even then, we'll assume the same consumption. So, anyways, I believe let's have a look at the map quickly. Even though that again, whenever you're able to actually start off the board up, you're gonna have to sift through all this toad tip conversations instantly every time you're able to actually look up on the board. Although it really helps for certain advantage, even by the forms of the actual hint, but ultimately though, we just want to get a move on, so even then, that I'm pretty sure we've already explained most of this stuff of the forms of King Bob-omb's Powderkeg mine. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get ourselves, nah, frick, we'll go for 1 instead. Although it really helps though, still, because of the actual dice, no, not so much for a dice block, but rather by the forms of the dash mushroom instead. Alright, so looks like Monty Mole's gonna use his own character dice block, and he's gonna go for +1. And in addition with that, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get himself another item. So, yeah, I'm pretty glad that Monty Mole was a thing on the playable character department, because I'm pretty sure enough, because developers of the forms of ND Cube was trying to think about that Monty Mole was trying to able to actually just you know, barged in on the forms of the actual company, and he's trying to say, like, to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure I'm getting tired of being a boss battle ever since in Mario Party 10 and Star Rush since then. So I'm presuming that he's pretty much giving up on the forms of, like, becoming a boss battle. So, because obviously this game doesn't have boss battle minigames, because even then though, it's been used that since for about 4 Mario Party games. Well, technically 5 Pinkie Pie, because of Mario Party DS was a thing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Absent Mind. Or in this case, Minded. That's what I meant to say for that. Figure out which character isn't there. Some characters have similar shapes and colors. Do not or don't be fooled. So basically, we have to figure out that what character that wasn't on there in each round. See, Fernando, like for instance, we showed you right there, Lakitu wasn't there. So yeah, this is very interesting. See, Fernando, let's get this thing to it.
Start.
So anyways, let's go ahead and find who's missing. I'm pretty sure it will be Hermit Crab right there. Yeah, because you guessed that because of how the fact that, well, between Mega Koopa and Cheep Cheep, they do have their top on their head. So, or in this case, Buddy forms over here, but that is how I think. Alright, round 2. So let's see who's missing. Any suggestions? Let's just go for the bruises. Well, because as you can see that I can barely see Hammer Bro was shown up and the forms of the Mecha Koopa at the same time too. Not why that part of the Wiggler got chopped off from that image, but even then though, I'm feeling incredibly bad for that. Anyway, the last one right here, I'm guessing it will be Waluigi, just because, well, he wasn't shown up. Yeah, what's odd is the fact that both Boom Boom and Pom Pom did have their appearance in this minigame, but for whatever reason, they decided able to put in just Pom Pom as a playable character, rather than both Boom Boom and Pom Pom. So, looks a bit interesting, well, kind of odd-ish, but even then though, that some people usually just trying to consider that. So, yeah, that's about it with Absent Minded. So even then though, let's move on to turn 11. So, wow, we're naturally on the halfway point of this board already. So, to be expected at this point is that some videos might take a little bit quicker to be able to actually just, you know, get these boards going. Yeah, because of how the fact that we did done the first board out of the way, even though it did only took about like 6 parts, or no, actually it's like 4 parts, wasn't it? Yeah, it's practically 4 parts. Well, then some of the later boards that we can actually get into, specifically at the moment right now, King Bob-omb's Powderkeg Mine, and especially noticeable with the next board, which is the Mega Fruit's Paradise, and the 4th and the final board, specifically on the Mario Party mode, because, you know, I just really wish if they actually include, like, 6 boards to begin with, just like in forms of how it does it previously, or maybe something more likely like Mario Party 9 and Island Tour, because at least in those 2 games, did manage to have like 7 boards. Well, generally speaking, if you ever play Island Tour by yourself, naturally you only have to stuck with just only 6 boards, because the 7th board, which is of course Shy Guy Shuffle City, actually requires 3 human players or 4 human players in order to actually just make the actual board itself playable, because I can see why about the fact that they can't be bothered to do that with computer players, and the same applies by the forms of utter nuisance minigame, by the forms of that, you know, that minigame utilizes the microphone technology for the actual 3DS when you're trying to copy the character voices in only for your one go. But even then, except the fact that you can only do this with 2 humans or 3 or 4 humans involved. So, but again, computer players will not count at all, so even then that makes it obvious. So, same applies by the forms of the choices voiced, even though you can't play this all by yourself. So, yeah, to able to actually just see how the fact that how much points you have by the forms of your run through of you know, the choice's voice. Yeah, I can understand for that appreciation. And it looks like Diddy Kong now got himself his star now, so yeah, that's pretty obvious there because that star is literally right there. And it looks like everyone else got the star now. Super Nintendo. Well, generally speaking, that Rosalina, she's still in the lead at the moment. But I'm sure enough until the next turn, we would able to steal a star. But only if a little bit of a little bit more of a short twist and turns here and there. Well, until whenever we get to the forms of the actual Lakitu himself. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anyways, though, so the next star is going to be at almost right at the very beginning of the board, or in this case, the start of the board. Yeah, because most of the time, though, that we're actually going round in the circles, basically. Which, naturally speaking, that's as far as we can go. But as far as the, you know, other things worth mentioning, though, well, to be honest with you, Pinkie Pie, I don't think there's any much else to be said and done, but other than the fact that I've already mentioned about loads of stuff during the likes of when Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, obviously, so, yeah, because of that, however, though, that, you just want to get that Let's Play done before, you know, Team Sonic Racing comes out.
Start.
Alright, so Fruit Forecast, we've already played this before, since, the very beginning of the board, so, naturally, we're gonna have to play this again. I'm pretty sure enough, though, we're on the exact same teammates, or perhaps maybe, is it like the exact same teammate as last time? I'm pretty sure it was, if I may be mistaken. But I believe that how the fact that the blue team is actually doing slightly better than last time, but sometimes though they didn't able to actually input their faster movements in time. But even then, though, still you can't deny by that because of how the fact that the toned down difficulty with lower level difficulty player. Either way, that's as far as we can get. As far as this point to me, though, is the fact that I'm actually going to be decided able to change my mind whenever, well, I decided able to actually go back to, like, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed at this point, specifically towards at, you know, by the forms of, like, oh, what's the date to be exact? Oh, don't you mean, the 11th of March, don't you mean? Yeah, exactly, Pinkie Pie. But, the thing is, I think I should probably, try to delay that, continuation of the playthrough again of, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, because, I would say, though, is the fact that I would save it up until whenever it gets to April, or sometime in May, before when, you know, Team Sonic Racing comes out, because, the problem at the moment right now, by the forms of how the fact that I've already mentioned about this several times in my, Let's Play of the forms of Team Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, is that for some reason that game, or the actual copy of the game, or in this case my Xbox 360 system entirely, just keeps on like freezing most of the time. And even then though, that's just attempt to really bugging me most of the time though. Yeah, I can understand that because I'm pretty sure that's been out that has been there for a long period of time. Although we could appreciate if we want to go for an upgraded system, most notably with, you know, the Xbox 360 Slim or something. But the problem is, though, is that it might be very difficult to find right now, even with boxed included. But I digress. Oh crap, I got a bad feeling about this part. Well, at least it all depends though, really, if no one seems to land on that happening space. And it looks like about freaking time that we got ourselves an ally for once, after about, you know, several turns later, so, but in this case, he'll get, Luigi, so, yeah, you get the idea for that point, and obviously Toad will mention about the actual text, because, you know, both Mario and Luigi does not even have, text speech bubbles here and there, but only, Toad's able to actually mention about that whenever when Mario or Luigi involves in that, so, but anyway, and I believe he's gonna get himself a 3. And here's another happening space right there. And basically, it's kind of like a 50%, or in this case, I would say 25% chance of this particular event, or 33% chance between, you can either rank up more coins, or potentially, for this matter, that you can accidentally break the actual pickaxe. So, in this case, he got very lucky right there, because, well, he actually did got himself 28 coins. So, that's a plentiful. And I believe that could be summarized for, I don't know actually. It's kind of hard to able to actually just to realize. Oh wait, I think Rosaline is gonna steal something from, you know, she's gonna steal, coins though, so we don't have to worry about stars or anything. Of course, it's pretty obvious that she's gonna go for Monty Mole because he's got a lot of coins at the moment. Yeah, due to that little, event right there with that, you know, the pickaxe and stuff. Yeah, that's as far as we can go. So anyways, so she's got 9 at least, so yeah, you get the idea for that point. And looks like she is also gonna go for that happening space as well. But the question is, can she ever get some more gold? Let's just find out. And it looks like she doesn't get it. Yeah, that happens right there. If your pickaxe breaks, you won't get any coins at all. So yeah, that can be a little bit of a luck factor in on that as well. But again, it's all about like, oh, don't you dare. Okay, good. So it doesn't go onto that poison mushroom on us. Yeah, because even then, we just weren't able to actually escape by this center section. But either way though, let's not worry about that now until the next couple of turns. Yeah, anyway, and it looks like Diddy Kong is gonna be getting a 0, but 3 coins as an addition. Yeah, because you know that, if you get a 0 something, the space will still affect it on that player. Just like in forms of how it does in, I would say Mario Party 9, but either way though, Snack Attack. And we're about to be getting some popcorns, as you can see there. Catch popcorn, not boulders. If a boulder hits you, you'll spill some popcorn. So, basically move around with the analog stick, and that's all you have to do. This minigame is so similar to the forms of Coney Island from Mario Party 5, including Mario Party the Top 100, if you want to count that, where basically in this minigame all you have to do is basically we need to catch popcorn, and that's all there is to it. But the only difference is this time around is the fact that, well, obviously we have to grab popcorn rather than ice cream, unlike Coney Island. However, though, the biggest challenge of them all is definitely, in my honest opinion, is probably the most aggravating part about this is the actual depth perception. To me anyway, because sometimes I rarely manage to able to actually miss completely with all this popcorns in mind. And as you can see, we're off by 1 point by Rosalina. Jeez, she's pretty lucky right there. And sometimes you can't really tell if, well, obviously that particular sweet corn decides to interrupt, and then basically that you're able to actually constantly sending out either the boulders or the popcorns entirely. Well, at least it makes it sense when it comes to like if you're able to try to make the actual popcorn like, you know, sweet corn. It's hard to explain because even then I haven't really looked upon the forms of popcorn as much. The only time we do like popcorn is whenever we watch the film on the cinema on a big screen or something. Yeah, it might be true. Oh, please don't tell me we're gonna able to miss that star space. Let's just see. Oh, great. We're gonna miss that star space no matter what, because of that happening space, so... But again, that's the thing. Anyway, let's go and grab the golden pipe for the sake of, like, buying this. Yeah, because, you know, we just want to get the next star. So, yeah, because that's the thing about the forms of so many special events optional choices, is that, again, you don't have an option to choose either yes or no. You're able to actually ride on that minecart sometimes. But even then, though, that might be the only criticism I feel like. But even then, though, that at least in the actual other Mario Party games, well, some of them at time that you can actually select either yes or no. But the only unskippable parts is the, of course, Boo's Haunted Bash from Mario Party 4, because, well, specifically if you manage to let the flames go out. And for the most part, though, you have to force it able to get onto that ghost train, which, to be honest, I don't mind about it too much. Anyways, so, let's see, Monty Mole is... Oh, he's lucky again! Jeez, he'll be the king of the world with, you know, tons of gold. Yep, seems to me for him anyway. I'm guessing because of how the fact that he just really gets his vengeance back after, you know, defeating him from Mario Party 10 and Mario Party Star Rush at the same time. Well, naturally speaking, that me and Piglet did manage to able to did on Mario Party 10 back in 2015, which, you know, for about after when the actual game came out, and I believe she's gonna get screwed over. Well, it's a good thing we did manage to avoid that part, because obviously, we did manage to able to go to the other section due to the actual minecart section here, so... But, you know, you get this suggestion for that point. However, though, you don't get coins if you ride on the minecart, though, so it just takes you to the, you know, the alternative pathway, and that's about it. Yeah, that's as far as I was thinking of the same thing, so... Alright, so it looks like Diddy Kong, he's gonna go for the super mushroom here. And, let's just say this at this point. I'm pretty sure that he would, steal a star from... I don't know, it's hard to tell, because even then, that you can't really predict of how the fact that what computer players are about to be doing, so... Yep, it looks like he's gonna steal a star. Oh, please, don't you... Oh, he's gonna go for random. Let's see what he's gonna go for. Dang it! Oh, why? Yeah, I just really hate the random section right there. Especially because it directly home in on us whenever where we select it when it comes to, like, our star stolen. Ah, jeez, that's underwhelming. But even then, though, that, it kind of like, it feels like the same thing for how it does in the old school Mario parties these days. Yeah, I know. But oh well, looks like he got himself his star back at least. I think that's the only reason why. But anyways though, now he's on 3rd place, and we're in dead 4th at the moment right now, because we're off by freaking 1 coin! Oh, dang it. Well, hopefully that won't matter though. Well, at least for the most part anyway, so let's see, next minigame. But this time we have another 4-player game, in this case, free-for-all, even though for some reason it doesn't call it that now. Anyways, precision gardening. I actually kind of like this one, actually. Pump your water to the flowers. When you see a rainbow over your head, you're almost there. So basically, just shake the Joy-Con up and down if you're in a horizontal position until you're able to pump the actual water. So, it's that simple, really. But obviously, that Pinkie Pie, she's going to be able to doing that, while at the same time, I'm about to be doing some commentary on stuff, so... But even then, though, it's kind of hard to able to get to this... Oh! But at least we won there, but we didn't get a new record, though. Yeah, because oftentimes, though, my hoofs are actually getting pretty slipped up, but even then, though, that's as far as we can able to see at this point.
Winner!
And yay, we actually did manage to win, though. And by the way, something's worth mentioning is the fact that, you know, in the forms of, like, Bowser Jr.'s, winning animation, especially by the forms of, the most of his animations entirely, it did heavily borrow that from Mario Party Island Tour, because, you know, that he hasn't been a playable character since then, or in this case, since Mario Party Island Tour, so even then, though, that makes it clearly obvious. And same applies for Boo as well, but, there are some slight differences, slightly. But even then, though, we'll get to that whenever we move on to the next board, which hopefully we can able to actually just to be, like, you know, be a Mario villain character once again. But this time around, though, in the next board anyway, we're actually going to be doing something completely in a unique twist to that. But we'll save that for the next weekend, so to speak. Yeah, I know that. So it looks like we've got ourselves our star back. Well, generally speaking, we've actually bought a star. So naturally, we're now up to 2 now. So, and look at that. We're all above 1 coin from Rosalina. Seriously, it's like an odd pattern right there when it comes to, like, how much coins you're off by and how much coins that you're above from. Yeah, it's kind of an odd pattern here. And it looks like the next star is going to be at the danger zone of all things. Hopefully we'll get to that at some point. Well, it all depends though, really, if, you know, the dice roll is a thing, so... And it looks like, yep, we have an ally now. So, let's just see what ally we can get. And it looks like we have Daisy. So, I believe her dice block is also very good, along with the forms of Shy Guy, obviously. But the difference is here, there are no zeros on her dice block, so we got, 4 3s and 2 4s. Not bad for that actual dice block itself, because even then, you can't at least able to actually decide to move along without even getting a 0. Well, at least of all, depends on the forms of the actual different characters' dice block and all that stuff. Yeah, I know that. Alright, so not doing so bad anyway. So far, we haven't come across into a hidden blocks on it so far, which again, it appears to be placed in a random place on that random space. But again, it's so hard to predict of what is going to be able to actually go, you know, contains inside of one of them, so... Anyways though, Diddy Kong, let's see what he's gonna do. Well, he's gonna go after the star no matter what. Yeah, because, you know, he'll able to use that, oh, he's going for a normal dice block. At first I thought he was gonna go for his special dice block, but apparently he's gonna go for... Oh, he's going that way, okay. And I'm guessing he'll able to actually just save up his coins to able to actually buy, you know, the item like, the golden pipe, for instance. Yeah, I would have thought so for the same thing as well. But anyways, next minigame we have is... Trek Harder. Now this is very interesting and pretty fun at the same time. Is the fact that, well, you know, race to the finish line. Pedal like mad in a short race to the finish. And pedal with your Joy-Con, as you can see on this motion, you know, the actual, like, CGI motion image. And that way you can able to, you know, pedal like mad.
3,
I'll let Sonic can do this.
go!
Come on. Go on, go faster, damn it. Come on, Sonic, you can do this. Yay, I think we win. Even though we're off by a few milliseconds off from that new record. Fundamentally, though, I'm pretty sure this is one of those minigames that has been shown off back in E3 2018 for not just by the forms of Nintendo Treehouse, but also by the forms of the actual first trailer of Super Mario Party. Yeah, which is pretty unique, because even then, I didn't expect to see that one coming, because even then, well, as soon as we're able to actually select Goomba at some point, that obviously he has no hands whatsoever, so or he does, that he actually uses his feet the whole time while he was trying to pedal that particular, you know, tricycle, which is pretty hilarious at the same time, I gotta say that much, because even then, that, well, I just found it very shocked about the fact that Goomba was actually a playable character in a Mario Party game for the first time. Well, at least to be more specifically for this game, so, because, unlike any forms of how it does it in, Beach Valley Frolly in, Mario Party 4, that, Goomba wasn't a playable character on that mode, on Mario Party 4, I think it's because of how the fact that he's pretty much lacking with arms or hands. Yeah, so that's why he decides to able to sit there and, just watch the entire, beach volleyball game, so... Yeah, but at least even then, you can able to play as other characters as well, like, you know, Toad, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Boo, and Mini Bowser / Koopa Kid for those who lived in North America, and of course, Bowser himself. So, in fact, fundamentally though, if you really want to count, well, when it comes to, like, playable Bowser on the Mario Party games, that, this is actually the third time that he's actually become Bowser's playable debut in a Mario Party game since, well, Beach Valley Frolly in Mario Party 4, and Bowser Party and Amiibo Party from Mario Party 10. So, but generally, this is the first time you can able to play as Bowser in every single mode for, you know, Super Mario Party as far as the entire package. Yeah, which is pretty cool if you ask me. And, yeah, apparently though, if you manage to use the custom dice block, somehow the allied character will not allow you to able to add more numbers to the rolls, so, yeah, I just want to classify for that, just because it'll make it incredibly cheap. Yeah, because I think that's why they decided to do that, so. Alright, ally space for Monty Mole, let's see what he's gonna go for. Of course, Waluigi. And let's see what his dice block is actually look like. And it turns out it's gonna be... I would say he might still have negative coin space for that part, but this time it's only have 1 instead of 2, unlike in, well, in Mario Party Star Rush. So, yeah, you get the idea for that point. Alright, Rosalina gets a 3, and now she has an ally as well. So, I'm guessing the only character needs left now with the ally system in mind, which is, of course, Diddy Kong, so... But who knows, maybe he might actually stumble across Donkey Kong as his ally? But I don't know, it all depends on the actual roulette system, so... Anyways, Rosalina gets a Hammer Bro ally, so even then though that well, the only character that we did actually play as last time from the previous board, from, you know, the Mario Party mode. Yeah, which is interesting. And, yep, looks like he's gonna go for that golden pipe. Seriously, out of all the actual items in the game, the golden pipe is actually pretty good as far as the actual item is concerned, because, you know, it just takes you right next to the actual star space that it's currently at. Yeah, I would have thought so. And we have a hidden block for Diddy Kong once again. Oh, please don't tell me he's gonna get a star. Oh, okay, apparently not. So instead, he gets coins. So, 13? That's a lot. Jeez. Anyway, another new minigame, and this time is another 4-player game, but which minigame should we go for this time? Follow that money, or in this case, follow the money. This one's pretty fun as well. Gather the most coins. If you fall or get hit, you lose coins. So basically, just move around with the unlock stick, and that's all you really have to do. But the catch is, though, is the fact that some of these coins are somewhat transparent, so we had to keep an eye out for them, because even then, especially if you fall behind, then you weren't able to get really lucky right there. But even then, I will give it a go. So even then, though, let's go ahead and dodge those stone walleyes, and especially noticeable with these bullet bills, especially too. And well, it seems more accurately though. I believe this well, it's all randomized if you're able to actually just master revisiting this mini game. Like for instance, for example, in the practice screen that we stumbled across you know, forms, and then as soon as you see on the actual proper footage of Follow the Money mini game, I believe this is actually based off from the Stone Walleyes enemy course. So, but again, it's all randomized though. It depends if you're able to actually just revisiting this mini game time and time again. So, but on the plus side, we got 27 coins. Yep, and that leads us to 44 coins. So, I think that should be enough for not only for stealing the actual star from Lakitu of all things, but also, you know, just get ourselves a star, if hope for the best.